What's up, everyone? Welcome to Ashley Talks Movies, and welcome to my review of Send Help. This is the new movie from director Sam Raimi, who's known for Army of Darkness, the Evil Dead franchise, and Drag Me to Hell. Send Help stars Rachel McAdams as Linda, a woman who is mistreated and picked on by people at work, including her overbearing boss Bradley, played by Dylan O'Brien. During a work trip, their plane crashes, leaving them as the only survivors on a deserted island, but in order to survive, they must work together. However, their workplace hostility might make that hard to do. Before I jump into the review, if you would like to support the channel, there are a couple of ways you can do that. Make sure you subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Also, jump into the comments and share your thoughts about the movie.
Look who's joined the land of the living.
How long?
You been out? Day and a half?
Have you tried making a distress signal? Or a bigger fire?
I was busy trying to keep us alive.
But getting us out of here, that should be your focus, not being Susie Homemaker over here.
What did you just say to me?
Let's not forget, I'm your boss. You work for me.
We're not in the office anymore, Bradley.
With Send Help, Sam Raimi is back in horror mode. He brought horror to Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, the last movie he directed before this one, but here he gets to fully return to his style of filmmaking. You get Raimi's signature touches like the crash zooms, the frenetic editing, and his ability to blend genres like horror and comedy together effortlessly. This is a survival story that is thrilling, campy, and gory. It's like a mashup of Castaway, Misery, and Survivor, but with an almost even mix of horror and comedy. There are some tonal shifts here, but for the most part, they're seamless. If you've been wanting more of Sam Raimi's style of horror, you definitely get it with Send Help, which also delivers the gore. This movie has some pretty gruesome moments, and things get bloody and gross. There's a scene in this movie that had me both laughing and going ew at the same time, and there are quite a few moments like that in this movie. Moments that will cause you to have two different emotions or two different reactions all at once. Rachel McAdams and Dylan O'Brien are such a fantastic duo. They have a great dynamic that makes watching what their characters go through so entertaining. McAdams is amazing in this role. She's playing a character that is incredibly smart, but constantly underestimated because of how she looks and how she acts. But once she gets stuck on the island, she gets to show what she's really capable of. And as the movie goes on, she becomes more and more unhinged. And McAdams seems to be having so much fun with this performance. O'Brien is great at playing a character that is despicable, but also very charming. He's so mean to Rachel McAdams' character, and he seems to revel in picking on her, but he also has moments of weakness that make you start to think that maybe he's not so bad. Maybe. This movie constantly forces these two characters into dark, dangerous, and uncomfortable situations where the power dynamics are constantly shifting, and it's so entertaining to watch how each of these characters react in those different situations. In fact, as the movie goes on, their true natures really start to come out, and it was so much fun watching these two characters interact with each other as they're trying to survive and also how they're trying to figure each other out. Now, there was a point in the movie where I thought the story was going in a certain direction and that made me concerned, but I didn't need to worry. And I also thought the ending here was earned and felt very true to what the story was building up to. Now, I mentioned this in my out of the theater reaction that Send Help was one of the movies on my most anticipated of 2026 list, and I had really high hopes going into this movie, so I was really happy that this movie turned out to be so much fun and so entertaining. It's well written, it's well directed, it has a really great performance from Rachel McAdams, and even Dylan O'Brien. I just had a blast with this movie, and I really enjoyed it a ton. So those are my thoughts on Send Help, which is out in theaters this week. Do you plan on seeing it? Let me know in the comments. Also, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate that. So that does it for me, everyone. I'll see you next time, and thanks for watching.